Oh my gosh. Alright, so I got another bonus build update for y'all, okay? And this one I'm kind of fond of. It's something that's near and dear to my heart because I've always been a Predator's Mark fan ever since Div 1. The thing is, I think that the misconception that people have with Predator's Mark, quote unquote, for this game, because you know they don't have it, it's just the iteration I use is Ongoing Directive, which is so close to Predator's Mark. But I think that the misconception that people have when it comes to actually making Predator's Mark is the fact that they want to deal the damage to the enemy while they're bleeding. Like how much damage they can deal to them while they're bleeding instead of the actual bleed itself. Ongoing Directive allows you to actually implement that. So my first Predator's Mark build that I made, which is actually my highest view to date, came out when they did the whole Gear 2.0, and that's when I launched my all my new builds and whatnot. And so basically that one was implemented with the idea, like I was just talking about, how much damage can I deal to the enemy, you know, while they're bleeding instead of the actual bleed. I mean, the bleed was strong, you know, it was strong, but I didn't invest in it like I should have, you know what I'm saying? And so I made more iterations of it, right, over time, and I gradually got better. And the one that I'm actually really proud of is one called Predator's Legacy. And I think that's the latest one, right? And I didn't want to keep making Predator's Mark builds, you know what I'm saying? That's why I made this actual bonus build update video. I didn't want to just keep making, oh, this is new Pred Mark, new Pred Mark. So at the end of this video, I'm just going to show you what, you know, I did to this. Because aside from the fact that you need Predator's Mark to deal a really strong bleed, you also need it to be tanky. And that's one thing I was lacking with all of the other ones. They weren't tanky at all. They were either 900k something armor, or you know 1.1, 1.2. The OG Predator's Mark was what, 9,000 stamina, bro, and that's what depicted how strong your actual bleed would be, right? So I figured, why not, you know, just make something that is that has a strong bleed and also is pretty tanky. So this one, I'd say is, you know, is tanky. And at first I wanted to go with glass cannon. But you know, even if you have glass cannon with 1.9 million armor, kind of defeats the purpose of being tanky. Because glass cannon basically makes your armor half that. So it's you'll get melted anyway, right? And so I decided to go with a different talent that's actually pretty good, you know. I just want you to check this gameplay out, and you know, it's really, you know, it's really good, honestly. And this is probably the closest iteration to it. I just got sniped. Don't kill me. But yeah, in all of my other Pred Mark builds, most of them actually, I took it to PvP, you know, and they performed well. They performed well. I actually tried to take this, well, not this one, but the one that had the glass cannon. I tried to take that to PvP, and it just, it did not work, man. I mean, one thing that's good about this though is that I do have a Scorpio, as you notice, right? You have a Scorpio, right? And the Scorpio is good for just like, you know, being a crazy annoyance. Because every time you shoot, and it's like you apply a status effect, and that's basically a skill in your hands. So if you're like running around in conflict solo, it's not going to be as effective as if you had a team, because then you could be like kind of like on the sidelines and stuff, applying a status effect, being annoying. Okay? But yeah, this does. I like the damage this does. Oh. Let's see how we can sneak up on the blue. Got her right in the neck. You know, one thing I like about survivalists is that Sniper turret. This crossbow, man. This crossbow, and also the fact that you got that specialization D50, right? Where you could, hold on. God dang, are you serious? Once you get these hollow points for this D50, you know, you got hollow points for everything. And remember, the D50 is like the name version of 𝒉𝒐, just like the Carnage, right? I'm gonna show you all that at the end. Just try and take the pick out.
System reactivated.
I'm taking hits.
Agent in need.
Beautiful. All right, so
Looks like you earned yourself another bounty. Well
show you
done.
what we got here, man. So initially I said that I wanted to have glass cannon, and I do have a 𝒉𝒐𝐻𝐽 glass cannon chest piece right here, right? But like I said, man, even though it made it 1.9, it made it 1.9 million armor, still wasn't doing it. And it made it 1.9 because I had also this 𝒉𝒐𝐻𝐽 helmet, right? Because 𝒉𝒐𝐻𝐽 gives you 10% status effects. Now here's the thing, all right? This is how you embody Predator's Mark in Division 2, okay? You have to get as much status effects as you can, and you have to get as much armor as you can, so that you could just survive through all of that damage and also deal an insane amount of damage with a bleed without, you know, people taking you down super quick. And this is really good in PvP because, man, if you try glass cannon in PvP, it's pretty much a joke unless you're using like a sniper build or something and you're just out of sight. With this, you're gonna want to be kind of in the mix, you know, running around making people bleed and stuff. So for my primary, I have the Carnage, which is perfect for this because it has perfect 𝒉𝒐, 25% damage to bleeding targets, and after 3 kills, it applies bleed. Now, like I said, also on a D50, it has the same exact thing, and this is the one that's exclusive to Survivalist Specialization. You want Scorpio because Scorpio in PvE, they're different, right? For the first shot, you get poisoned and disorient for 3, then shock for 6, right? But in PvP, it's different. If you turn the PvP stats on, you'll notice that the first 2 shots, you bleed the enemy. And so it doesn't matter what bleed you apply, it's always going to be that crazy bleed because of the backpack that you have, right? You don't have to worry about any of this other stuff. But the ensnare is pretty cool when you hit them with 7 stacks. You know, it's like having, like I said, a skill in your hand. And you could just play off both of these because you get hollow points after you kill an enemy that's bleeding. And for 150 rounds, hollow points is insane. Also, Ongoing Directive as a gear set gives you 30% reload speed. That's nuts. For an LMG, you're going to want that, okay? And like I said, the backpack, okay? Look at this backpack. Trauma Specialist is what I was talking about. This increases the duration of your bleed status effects by 50% and increases all damage done by 100%. That is insane for a backpack. And it's just for the bleed, right? So that's why I said this is specific for Predator's Mark for Division 2. And this is the blueprint to make it like that. Now, if you want to take off this vial mask, you can. But this vial mask is kind of invaluable. You know, if you switch this out with the 𝒉𝒐𝐻𝐽 mask, then you'll have 1.9 million armor and you'll be able to be more tanky. But I just can't give this up, man. You get this extra debuff called Toxic Delivery, which is not even a status effect. It's just damage dealt based on the amount of increased status effects you have, right? So if you have status effects rolled everywhere, which this isn't even really min-maxed, I could switch. I'm actually gonna switch this out because I just made the decision to not have glass cannon, and so I didn't have status effects rolled. But if you have status effects rolled here, another one rolled here, which would increase it more. See, like I said, it's not even min-max, and it was hitting like that, right? Imagine if everything is rolled there. But all of these have status effects on them, and they're all rolled to armor. And, you know, you got to do a little bit of farming because Ongoing Directive doesn't come as armor core. So you're going to have to find the pieces that have status effects rolled on them already, and then you're good to go. My choice was to run Obliterate, and that's because Obliterate is really good for a stacking talent with an LMG like the Carnage with 150 rounds. But it's totally your preference on what you want to use, and Obliterate just seemed good for me. Let me know down in the comments which talents you think I should have in place of this. Trauma actually sounds good. And you could even go back to Glass Cannon if you want. I mean, if you're risky enough. Skills are your choice. Of course, I like the Bleed Seeker Mine. And this EMP Sticky Bomb is good because, you know, if you're going against Black Tusk and they have those robot dogs and whatnot, it's really good for that. And also, it activates Toxic Delivery no matter what because you're applying a status effect and it doesn't matter which one it is. So that'll do it for this version, man, of Predator's Mark, this bonus build update. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think about it down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll catch you on the next one. Be right out.